Welcome to the Aboriginal channel. On this episode, we're going to read about a mass grave they just found in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This article is from December 16, 2019, 60 days ago. It says possible mass grave from 1921 Tulsa race massacre found by researchers. If you noticed in the picture, this is a mound complex. See how it goes up and then it's going up again right here? It's not a mountain or a big natural hill in the middle of town. That's one of the mounds that the people built. It says experts at the University of Oklahoma believe they have found a possible mass grave site from the 1921 Tulsa race massacre at a city cemetery, although they are unsure how many bodies are underneath.
Archaeologists say they found anomalies in the ground here at Oakland Cemetery when they searched back in October with some of the most advanced technology. They spent 6 days in October searching the grounds with ground-penetrating radar. This search is a step in the right direction for many of the race massacre victims' families who want answers. While the official count of victims stands at 36, historians believe as many as 300 people died during the attack. One of the members from the Public Oversight Committee says hearing yesterday's results gives them hope of finding something.
It was known, the stories of black bodies being dumped in graves was something that we were told. And I have to say it's bittersweet to hear that the city has commissioned the research and that we have probably found mass graves belonging to race massacre victims.
So what happens next? The committee will go over the next phase of this investigation, which could include excavating the grounds. They'll meet in February to go over the new plan. There is still one more area that scientists haven't scanned yet, the Rolling Oaks Memorial Gardens. They say that is private property and they're working on getting permission. Reporting in Tulsa, Giselle Puente, 2 Works for You.
So right there in Oklahoma, they believed in putting a bunch of black bodies in a hole in the cemetery. Surveys confirm suspicions that one area might be a grave, in addition to a newly discovered trench under the soil of about 30 by 25 feet. It goes on to say that I'm as confident as I can be in the results that this is a very big candidate with something associated with the massacre. Phoebe Stubblefield, a forensic anthropologist of the University of Florida, cautioned at the hearing that the number of bodies inside the trench could be anywhere from 10 to 100. She also said it's unlikely that researchers will be able to identify any remains. Pause. Well, I find that very odd since it's 2020 and we have all the technology in the world. Why wouldn't identification be likely with the sophisticated technology that we have today? I don't understand it. But here on the Aboriginal channel, we're getting into the mass graves. So here I found another article that I want to read. It says Alabama mass grave may contain bodies from the 1870s epidemic. A mass grave unearthed Tuesday in downtown Montgomery, Alabama, is believed to contain bodies from an epidemic of yellow fever that swept the city in the 1870s, police say. Pause. So earlier in a video in Texas, the lady that was digging up those bodies, the first thing she said was that it could have been a yellow fever epidemic that swept through the area. So if you ask me, yellow fever is one of the excuses that they use for when people find mass graves. They throw it off as a yellow fever epidemic. But it goes on to say 2 buildings from the 1940s were torn down at the site and maintenance workers grading the land in preparation for the construction of a new building uncovered the remains, said Montgomery police. The site is adjacent to a cemetery, he said, and based on the information we have from historical documents kept by the actual cemetery, it does appear that it may be remains from a yellow fever epidemic in the 1870s. Says according to an article posted online by the Mississippi Project of the American Local History Network, an extensive outbreak of yellow fever occurred in 1878, spreading across 8 states, but particularly affecting Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Some 16,000 people died from the disease that year alone, according to the article. So we can look for other mass graves in Louisiana and Mississippi, like the one here in Alabama. So I went to look around in Alabama to see where the mounds were at near Montgomery, Alabama. So on the map, it shows that at Montgomery County or Elmore County, there's the mound at Fort Salus or Fort Jackson Park. And then when I went looking around at the fort, I found something very familiar. And that is this right here. The outline right here is you follow the cursor. So it goes like this. It's a square with 4 diamond shapes at each end of the building. The familiarity in this shape is seen right here at the St. Augustine's Fort in St. Augustine, Florida, that in a previous video I said that Indians built. So we have the same structure right near the water, right on the water's edge in Elmore County, Alabama. And when you go over to the county information, it says that Elmore was created in 1866. So I like to add that we made the discovery of an Aboriginal structure right here at Fort Toulouse in Alabama. Through the history books, which has all been a lie. So therefore, if it's a lie, then what's the truth? If it's a lie, then what's